Good morning, Crest, and welcome to the RGT second floor kitchen, where today our good friend Kelly Goles is going to be showing us how to make some delicious fall treats, or as we're calling them, scary good treats, just in time for Halloween and the fall season. Now, Kelly, what are we going to be making today?
First, we're going to make a pumpkin roll, and then we are going to make some Mexican hot chocolate cookies.
Well, I want to find out why we're making Mexican hot chocolate cookies, but we're going to save that for the second half of our show.
Okay.
So right now, we're going to get started on our pumpkin roll. We've got a lot of things that you are going to need for this. Just a reminder, and we'll remind you throughout the show that if you're interested in any of these recipes, stop down to the TV studio. We're going to have all these recipes in written form for you, so if you do want to try any of these out, which I highly recommend. So, but right now, let's take a look at actually what ingredients you're going to need for this recipe. Well, now that we know exactly what we're going to need for this recipe, I guess we can get started. So we're starting with the pumpkin roll. What's the first thing we need to do?
All right, first thing you need to do is you need to beat 3 eggs for 5 minutes. So
I'm going to have to crack these?
Yes. You're going to crack them in this bowl first, because you always want to make sure you crack all your eggs separately, so if there's a bad one, you don't ruin the whole batch.
I'm not going to lie, I am really bad. Yeah, there goes a shell already. I'm like 2 seconds into this recipe and I'm already making horrible decisions. Okay,
so we're not going to use that shell. Let me see. A good way to get the shells out, actually, is to use the shell itself.
I have never seen this trick before. This is not working. This is not working.
This is going to work. There we go.
You got more shell in there.
There's one shell.
There's another piece right there.
Maybe you shouldn't crack the eggs. Maybe that should be my job.
Maybe I told you this should have been your job from moment one.
So there you go. All right. So add that to the mixer, and you're gonna turn it on. Yes, one at a time. You're gonna go medium speed.
Okay.
And you're gonna beat those for about 5 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that looks good. All right.
So I'm gonna start on this part here.
Okay.
And I'm gonna make the ingredients that we're eventually going to add to the eggs.
All right.
So I'm starting out.
I'm going to keep working on the eggs. You get on that.
So we're going to use 2/3 cup pumpkin, which I already have measured out.
Come on.
Try not to get any more shells in.
The funny thing is, you said that as I'm like pulling shells out of the thing.
This is going to be a long,
This is going to be a little crunchy. It'll be okay.
Yeah. So this is a great recipe to take if you have a Thanksgiving party that you're going to. A lot of people do pumpkin pie, but this is, something different, something they may not already have there.
So you still get the pumpkin goodness, but in a different form than what, we normally see.
Exactly. And my mom and I, we actually make 50 pumpkin rolls every year the day after Thanksgiving.
50?
So, yes.
You're kidding me?
No.
Why do you make 50 pumpkin rolls?
We give them out as Christmas presents.
All right.
So when everybody else is waking up at, 2 in the morning to do their holiday shopping on Black Friday, we get up at 6, start making pumpkin rolls about 7, we'll finish around 8 o'clock that night if we're lucky. So it's a long day.
Good news, by the 3rd egg I finally got no shells.
Okay, you're good to go then.
All right, so we're working on those. Those are going.
So I need my
Do we need this bowl anymore?
We do not need that bowl anymore. That can go in the sink. All right, so
get some egg off my hands.
Baking powder, I need 1 teaspoon. I have a ½ teaspoon here.
All right, so right now Kelly is actually adding, these are the ingredients that we're gonna add once our eggs are ready to go. We're actually adding sugar, pumpkin, a squirt of lemon juice, flour, baking powder, salt, and pumpkin pie spices, and we're gonna add that to our eggs in just a couple minutes.
Get my salt
now,
here.
Are you somebody? Now we know that you bake a lot. We've had a couple segments with you where you've baked for us. Have you done a pumpkin pie before?
I have. It should, I have made a pumpkin pie before, and that's fun. But there's just something about the pumpkin roll. My mom and I have been doing it for as long as I can remember. So, I prefer to do this over doing a pumpkin pie.
I gotcha. But would you say this is easier or harder than a pumpkin pie?
I don't know. I'd say it's about the
even?
same. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just wondering, because people like me, I'm not cooking inclined, let's say, as you can tell from my fantastic egg, my fantastic egg demonstration so far. But, you know, so I mean, something like a pumpkin roll, if you were going to tell me it was going to be easier than a pumpkin pie, or if the pumpkin pie is easier, you know, I'm going to go for easy as opposed to, for me, it's not a taste thing anymore,
so
you know?
I'm trying to read the recipe, and there's shells on the
I'm sorry.
shells.
Apparently, I completely even missed the bowl with the shells, so I'm off to a fantastic start so far.
How are those looking? Is that good? You want them to be really light and fluffy, so that's why you want to go for about 5 minutes.
We got a little foam. A little foam going.
Okay. Now,
so I feel like we should be
being ill prepared. All right.
That's all right. That's why we have 5 minutes for eggs, so we're good.
All right. Now,
while we are waiting for our eggs to go, though, I would like to point out my fantastic kitchen attire here today. This is courtesy of Miss Kelly Goles. She gave me 2 options. She said this wonderful apron here or a Christmas one with candy canes. And I looked at Kelly and I said, Kelly, why would I wear a candy cane apron when we're doing fall cookies? And she couldn't come up with a good excuse.
Stranger things
so instead I get to look beautiful in this today. So I just wanted to touch on that real quick before we moved on here.
That's a great excuse. We all know you brought that from home, and that is your apron.
Don't you know me so well?
No, actually, I just want to point out, too, that I am using pumpkin pie spice, but pumpkin pie spice can be a little bit expensive. It's about $5 for one of the really small things. So if you don't have pumpkin pie spice, you can use cinnamon, ginger, and nutmeg, and I have that on the recipe here so that, you know, because a lot of people already have those things on hand. They're not really
That's a lot easier. I mean, pumpkin pie spice is like one thing that, I mean, really it's only used in the fall season. I mean, whereas these other 3 are more common year-round.
Yes. So
I think our eggs are starting to look good here.
Good. We're almost there. About another minute, maybe.
Okay, all right.
I'm just going to mix this up.
Is there anything I can do while we're waiting?
Yes.
Okay.
I want you to grab the pan.
All right.
And spray it with some Pam.
All right. Get the eggs out of the way, too.
Yes.
I'm really bad at this. I have sprayed myself before, so.
Ay, ay, ay. Okay.
Good news, this will not be sticking. I may have over-greased, but that's all right.
That's all right. Better over than under.
Exactly.
Now, I want you to just line it with this.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
That's just wax paper.
You're really giving me the task that I am horrible at today.
I tried to give him the easy tasks.
There is a blade there, right?
There is a blade there. Let me.
Oh, I got it.
Okay. It's a comedy of errors.
Just good enough. A little rip. It'll work.
All right. Okay. So lay that out. All right. I'm just.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't push it into all the edges. That was my bad. I'll take the hit on that.
Now we don't want to have too much because we don't want it to burn, but we do want to leave a little bit so we can lift it up.
Okay.
So, all right, turn that down. And turn it off, actually. All right.
There's a difference between down and off.
There is. And now you add that to that.
Okay.
Okay, so we're adding our pumpkin,
this is our delicious
flour,
pumpkin
sugar
pie.
mixture.
I just kind of want to eat this.
I would not suggest that.
Well, the raw eggs aren't in there. All right.
I still would not suggest that. I think it's going to be a little too pumpkin-y. I don't know. It actually might be good because it has a lot of sugar in it. So we're good to go.
All right.
All right. Make sure you get it all. We don't want to waste any.
I'm trying to save some because when I was a kid, I always used to do the thing where you lick the bowl afterwards. So that's my plan. I'm just going to try to leave as much as I can that you don't notice. That's my hope.
That's your hope?
That's my hope today, yeah.
It smells really good.
It does. But I'm a pumpkin pie fanatic, so for me, anything pumpkin scented, I'm in, you know?
All right. Well, I think that's looking pretty good. All right.
All right.
So we're going to turn this back on and mix it up. We're just going to kind of keep it on low for now. Just want to get it mixed. We can turn it up a little bit.
I am just on stir now, so we need to go. You want to go to 2?
You want to be careful when you first put that in so that you're not splashing mixture everywhere and making a mess.
Now, answer me this, because we had a little higher when it was just egg, but it wasn't. We didn't have a risk of splashing there. Now, why is that?
Well, I think just because it was so low, you didn't have a lot of ingredients in there, so it wasn't really coming up as high.
Okay.
So let's see now. that's looking pretty good. I just want to scrape the sides down a little bit. I'll get my spoon here.
All right. You want the mixer going? No.
I do not want the mixer going while I'm scraping the inside of the bowl.
I don't want you injured today, I promise.
That's what you're looking for.
No, that is not what I'm looking for.
Okay, so now. All right, just give that another quick.
Here, I'll take that spoon off your hands.
All right, and I think we are ready to go.
All right.
Okay. So now, we're going to pour this right into our pan.
Okay.
All right. Spoon, please.
Yes. There you go.
Alrighty.
So we've taken the mixture, we've got eggs in there, sugar, a bunch of spices. We're pretty much just putting it all back on this pan now.
Yes.
Now, should we level this out? I mean, or is it going to be just whatever shape it comes out in, that's what we're going with?
We do want to level that out.
All right, okay. I'm just checking.
This isn't quite Christmas cookies. We don't want any stars or Christmas trees here. So.
Well, maybe this kind of looks like a pumpkin, maybe an Easter egg, actually, now that I look at it.
Yeah,
all right, wrong holiday. Sorry, I'm a little.
That's all right. So we're just going to sort of level this out.
Okay. Now it is getting out, it's getting really thin there. Now that's okay?
That is okay.
Okay. Now how big is this? Is this a baking pan?
Yeah, this is a jelly roll pan.
Okay. And really the difference just looks like it's the sides.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little bit deeper than a baking pan. So you just want to flatten that out on the whole thing, and we're going to put this in the oven for 15 minutes at 350 degrees.
Excellent. So. I think this is a perfect opportunity. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we're actually going to start our second recipe, which are Mexican hot chocolate cookies. So those sound fantastic. We're going to find out why they're Mexican hot chocolate cookies and why we're doing them here in the fall. Stay tuned to your source for Oak Crest news, information, and entertainment. It's Good Morning Oak Crest. We'll be right back. And welcome back to your morning show. We're here with Kelly Goles, who's showing us some scary good treats for this fall season. And before the break, we were making pumpkin roll, which will be done shortly, and then we're gonna come back to that and we're gonna show how to finish that up. But while we're waiting, we're going to do Mexican hot chocolate cookies.
Yes.
Now for those of you, while we were at break, for our audience, just to let them know, what did we do to get prepared for this?
Well, before I tell you that, I'm going to have you get started on the butter, because that's going to take 2 minutes. So.
All right, how about this? I'll get started on the butter. You tell them what we did during the break.
Good.
All
okay.
right.
During the break, I put together the dry ingredients that are going to go into these cookies. Now, the reason we're making Mexican hot chocolate cookies is because in 2 days, it will be Day of the Dead, or Dia de los Muertos. So I figured while everybody's doing Halloween stuff and we're getting ready for different fall things like that, we'll get a little, celebrate some Mexican holidays as well. So these are one of my favorite cookies. I do love anything Mexican. So the thing that makes these cookies special is that they have a little bit of chili powder in them, and it doesn't really make them hot. It just gives them a little bit of an extra little kick, and it's really good. So
I got butter.
You have the butter. You are going to cream together the butter and 1.5 cups of sugar. So you can start creaming the butter while I get
Isn't this the sugar?
the sugar. That is not the sugar that you're using. Ay, ay, ay.
This is what happens.
That is sugar, but it's not the one that we're using right now. So, don't break it.
I think I chose the wrong.
Here's 1/2 cup of sugar. Put that in slowly. Now we've had this butter sitting out, and you always want to use room temperature anytime you're using butter, eggs, cream cheese. You always want to make sure that it's room temperature so that it's easier to beat. Sometime today with that.
She says as the butter is stuck to the whisk right now.
You have to really get it. You have to really get it going there.
I'm waiting for this butter it's about to come flying out, I'm not gonna lie.
So. All right, here, add this one. Yeah, you want to keep it a little bit low while you're over there. Okay. All right, and we are good to go with that.
Okay, so what else do we have to add?
So right now I'm going to sift these ingredients together.
Okay, now just for the people, one more time, what we've got in this right now that she's actually sifting: flour, cocoa powder, cream of tartar, baking soda, and salt.
Yes.
All right.
All right, and you want to make sure that you sift it so that you don't end up with any clumps. So I definitely wouldn't skip this step.
Right.
It does take, a little bit more time. But what I will usually do is I get my sifter and then you can sort of push it down.
Right.
And that gets a lot of it at once.
I'm not gonna lie, it's really pretty in the bowl too, with the
There you
different
go.
ingredients.
It's beautiful.
It's a nice little artistic design, so you get an art project to go with your baking project.
If your fancy apron is not enough color in the kitchen.
Apron. How is this not enough?
It's fabulous.
Come on. I dare you insult my...
He loves that apron. I'm never going to get it back.
I don't think so.
So, all right, we have just about another minute on our pumpkin roll.
I'll make sure to get that. You keep working on the sifting, but...
Okay. How's that going in there? Is everything getting
we may
light
have a
and
small
fluffy?
problem.
And its name is Christopher Taydus.
No, we have a giant ball of sugar and butter, kind of. For the folks at home, this is all of our sugar and butter right now, so there's none left in the bowl. Like, I think I may have botched something here, but...
All right. Well, here you can see this is why we sift, so we don't get these things that aren't mixed together.
So literally you just got it's just these little bits of cocoa, flour, it's just...
all sorts of fun stuff.
Right, exactly.
So what I will do now is I'm just going to scrape this in so that we can, yeah, that's probably a little loud. Just scrape this in, and it will do that. It will sort of get a little crazy on there. So.
We're not sifting anything else, are we?
No, we are not.
We are done sifting.
We are done sifting.
Good. I'm going to just get that out of the way. We've got so much going on here today.
All right. And when our cake comes out of the oven, we do just want to
Which I need to get right now.
Yeah. We do just want to test it to make sure, oh, perfect, that it is
excellent. Here.
Done.
Here, why don't you switch sides with me? I'm going to sneak around you real quick.
I'm going to go here. All right. Don't trip yourself.
The hazards of working in a kitchen with a microphone on, you know?
So this is turning out much better now that we've scraped it down. It's actually coming together. You do want to periodically scrape the sides. Make sure it's getting all mixed.
So what do I need to do to test this?
Okay, you want to get a knife.
Okay.
And you want to insert it into the middle and make sure the knife comes out clean. Make sure we don't get anything
coming out.
Yeah.
Got it.
So.
I think I'm going to go with the old toothpick method, though.
Okay, that works as well.
All right. I don't know the RG kitchen well enough.
I don't think he knows any kitchen well enough.
Well, if you've seen my cooking habits thus far, you're pretty right.
Okay.
Yep, coming out clean.
All right, so that is great. We can take that out. And I may have lied a little bit. We are going to sift something. All right, it's really important when you're creaming the butter and sugar, you want to make sure it's nice and fluffy. So it may take a little bit more than 2 minutes, but you want to make sure that you have it all together nice and fluffy and it's not really sticky. So this is really coming together nicely. Christopher is washing up our sifter because what we want to do now is we're going to take the pumpkin roll, we're going to let it cool a few minutes.
Okay.
Then we're going to take powdered sugar and we're just going to sprinkle it on top of the pumpkin roll. We're going to roll it up right in that wax paper and stick it in the freezer and let it cool for at least 15 minutes.
Okay.
So,
all right. Well, let's keep working on our cookies for now.
Yes.
We'll get that, though.
So
we've got our butter mixture now. What have we added to this now?
Nothing.
Oh, nothing. This is still just butter and sugar.
This is still just our butter and sugar. Yes. Okay. So what we are going to do is start incorporating our flour mixture, and you just want to sort of do that slowly, and you want to do it in parts, so you don't want to dump it all at once.
Right.
So we'll start with a little bit. You want to make sure you're turning your mixer back on low so you don't have everything flying out at you.
Right. I've done that a couple times as well in my limited baking experience. Knock it off. In my limited baking experience, I have occasionally put a little too much and a little too fast, and then next thing you know, you just got a giant cloud of sugar in your face.
It happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us.
True.
Now, I'm using a really good chocolate. It's a double Dutch dark cocoa powder because if you're making chocolate cookies, you don't want to skimp the chocolate that you have, because that's the most important part.
I feel like any cookies you make, you don't want to skip on the sugar, or the chocolate.
No.
Chocolate is
anytime you're using chocolate,
no.
I think it's always a good idea.
I think if a recipe even doesn't call for chocolate, you should still add chocolate, right?
We can make a lot of chocolate
A good steak
things.
at home. You're gonna have a nice, good ribeye.
Chocolate steak,
little chocolate right over top of it.
Absolutely.
Bam. I don't see how that's a bad day.
Nope.
Ever.
That sounds like a great recipe to me. Well, minus the steak.
You just want to eat the straight chocolate
just
at that
the chocolate,
point.
yeah. Right. And some mixers do have sort of a guard that you can shield this so that things aren't flying up at you.
Right.
I have these right here, and that works.
That's a nice guard.
And sometimes people will take a tea towel and sort of wrap that around. That works as well. So, I'm gonna kick it up a notch.
Warn me of these things next time, because that just scared me. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, well, that's why they're scary good treats.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right, so
that was a nice callback, I'm not going to lie.
Yes. All right, so just get this in here. I'm trying not to lose too much of the mixture.
Right.
Okay.
I think you're all done.
All right. So we are all set with that.
Okay.
We're just going to finish mixing this up. And then I'm going to let you, once again, since you did such a great job last time, put some parchment on this baking sheet.
Do I need to spray it first or just straight parchment?
You can spray it first. It's certainly not going to hurt.
Cooking with Kelly, good enough.
Just give it a good spray.
There you go.
Now the pumpkin roll is very heavy on the sheet. These cookies aren't going to be as heavy, so you don't really need the pan, but it doesn't hurt.
Right.
Getting a little crazy there with the mixture.
We do need to return this kitchen back to cleanliness. For the
That's why Chris is here.
RG. That's not funny. I don't do dishes.
Well, neither do I. So we have
today.
Neither do I. So we have an issue. I guess that's. Well, you know, Josh and Tamika really wanted to join in on the fun, so I guess that's a wonderful way for them to join in.
They want some cookies. If they want some cookies, I think that's how they're going to pay for it.
Everyone has to help. We all have to help. Okay, so this is just about ready.
Josh is shaking his head, but
shaking his head no?
No.
Okay, now what we have here, we have a separate mixture. You'll notice on the ingredients that we had a little bit more sugar than what we put in here.
Okay.
Some of that sugar we've set aside and we have it just in this bowl. And then this is our cinnamon and our chili powder.
Okay.
And you can add the chili powder. You don't have to. That's what sort of makes the cookies, but some people choose not to have it.
Just have some delicious chocolate
Yes,
cookies.
exactly. So we're just going to add that together.
Okay.
And we're just going to stir this quickly to get it all
just a quick whisking.
Mixed in. Yeah,
okay.
Just to sort of get it mixed.
Right. Evenly distributed in our cookies.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to take our mixture.
Okay.
And we're going to form them into balls. Oops. And then you want to just roll them in this delicious cinnamon, chili, sugar mixture.
Okay.
And you're going to place them on the cookie sheet about 3 inches apart.
Okay.
So what we can do is we'll go ahead, we'll take a quick break, we'll get these into the oven, we'll roll them up and get them into the oven.
Okay.
We'll get our pumpkin roll, and then while these are baking, we will make the filling that's going to go inside of our pumpkin roll.
Wonderful. That sounds like a good plan to me.
Sounds
so
like
we're going to take a short commercial break. We're going to get some more work done with our cookies. We're going to do some work with our pumpkin roll, but we'll be back in just a little bit, and we're going to show you how to make the filling for our pumpkin roll, and that's coming up in just a little bit. So make sure you stay tuned to your source for Oak Crest news, information, and entertainment. It's Good Morning Oak Crest. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. We are getting ready to finish our pumpkin roll. We have our Mexican hot chocolate cookies in the oven right now, and they should be done in just a few minutes. You want to keep an eye on those. You only have to bake them for about 10 minutes, but when the top starts to crack, that's when you want to take them out. So right now we're going to get started on the icing for our pumpkin roll. So I've put a stick of cream cheese, or package of cream cheese, and 2 sticks of butter in there. Beautiful.
Delicious.
We're going to go ahead and blend that up. So
that's pretty much my breakfast every morning. Just put that on a bagel, we're good to go.
We're good to go.
It's a good little schmear, you know?
All right, so get that going.
Okay.
Going to go on about medium speed. All right, we're actually going to crank this up a little bit. Again, we want to have everything room temperature so that it's more workable. There we go. Now, when my mom and I do this, she does the cake part. So she all day is just going between 2 mixers and constantly making cake for the 2,
right? Because
she can do 2 at a time. So it only takes 15 minutes for the cake. We can get about 4 done in an hour.
All right.
And then I do this part. So
you're the master of this part, the cake.
Yes. Yeah, that's her part. So once that comes out of the oven, she's constantly putting them in and out of the oven. Once that comes out, I put the powdered sugar on, I roll it up, I put it in the freezer. While I'm doing that, I'm making this delicious cream cheese mixture. Then I take all of them out and I have to ice all of them and roll them back up. So we have it down to a science. We're both working all day long.
And again, how many of those do you make?
We make 50.
Jeez, that's... Yeah. I gotta get on your Christmas list though, because the way how delicious that smelled. Yeah. Yeah. So. Do you want to take a look at the cookies real quick?
Yes.
Now, while she's taking a look at the cookies, I did want to mention to everybody during our break. Now, we want to be as honest as we can with you, so we want to let you know we made a small mistake during the first part of the cookies that we were making. We happened to forget adding eggs. A little bit of a mistake there, but during the break, we actually did take care of that. We added 2 eggs, each individually. So you add one, mix it for a couple minutes, add the second, mix that as well. So what happens is it kind of loosened up the dough a little bit more. We then proceeded to finish what Kelly was talking about earlier, put them into little balls, rolled them in the cinnamon, sugar, and chili powder mixture, and then we placed them on the cooking trays and pressed them down just a little bit. Now they've been baking they baked for about 5 minutes, and then what we did is we took them out, turned them around, and then cooked them for another 5 minutes. And Kelly, what's the result so far of our cookies? How are they looking?
They're looking pretty good. We're going to let them cool.
Okay.
Somebody made them a little bit big, but that's okay because they're all going to get eaten anyway.
At least I didn't forget an egg for our cookies.
That's true.
So.
All right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add about a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of vanilla extract to this.
Okay.
And we're also going to add our powdered sugar. Now, again, I would add this a little bit at a time, slowly, so that we don't make a big mess. So get that kind of blended up, and then we'll add the rest. It's getting a little dangerous there.
No, you're good, I promise.
All right. All right, and then turn that down a little bit. Teamwork, we're working together.
Now, the one other thing I noticed is that when we were making these cookies and we went to go pull them out after the 5-minute mark, I just want to touch on this real quick. We were using that parchment paper. We kind of had a lot of smoke coming out of there. That's not from the cookies, though. That was the parchment paper that was causing that.
If you have too much parchment, it will make it smoke a little bit, especially if it's hanging off of the edges. So you want to make sure you have it a little bit up so that you can pull it, but you don't want to have too much parchment because it will start to burn.
Why did you use the parchment? Because I mean, every time I've ever made cookies, we put them right on the tray. You know, we didn't do the parchment paper. Is there a reason that you do it?
Martha Stewart told me to, so that's what I did.
That's always a good reason. Yeah. So, you mind if I steal that spoon? I'm gonna just scrape the sides here.
The chocolate off of there?
Oh, that's all right. A little chocolate in here isn't gonna hurt.
All right, so that's just about done, I guess.
Yeah, I just got to get some. We have some sugar on the sides.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to
Want to get all that down?
It's one of the few things I remember from high school home ec.
Yes.
So.
Now, the Mexican hot chocolate cookies, that is actually a Martha Stewart recipe. The pumpkin roll, this is a recipe that's been in my family for quite some time. Me, my mom, my Aunt Shirley, we all make pumpkin rolls. We all kind of do it a little bit different. I know my Aunt Shirley adds a little bit, you know, has a couple different ingredients. This is how we do it, so we're going to taste the best.
Of course.
All right, now, that should be about done. I'm gonna go check on our pumpkin roll.
So what we've done is we actually put the pumpkin roll, once we actually took it out of the oven during our second segment here today. What we did is we took a little bit of powdered sugar, sprinkled it over the top of it, and then we took that whole parchment paper and we pulled it out. And you can see what Kelly's doing now is we took it and we actually rolled it up, put it in our freezer to almost flash cool it. The reasoning behind it is what we're gonna do is we're gonna ice it using the icing that we just made and then just roll it up into a big, roll it back up without the parchment paper.
Yes.
So how's it looking?
It is looking good. It's looking
a little bit of
very
parchment
good.
paper troubles, but
That's all right.
I think it's okay.
You always have that. So you can see though it's coming up pretty much really nicely. So what I'm going to do now also, a lot of times you'll have sort of on the side, one side.
Yeah.
Will
Sorry. The icing is delicious.
yeah, that's my favorite part. This side sometimes will get a little hard.
Okay.
So I'm just going to go ahead and cut off this part because we don't want anything that's
Okay, so I have to
hard on
ask,
there.
why is it that? Why is the one side?
It seems to be that one side sort of, I mean, you can rotate it when you're baking it, but
Right.
we sort of have so much going on that's
We-
the least of our worries.
I was gonna say we had enough troubles
So-
keeping track of eggs and cookies
Yeah.
and yeah. So
So I'm just pulling this up right now. Just want to remove this completely. Okay. And now if that is done,
yeah, just trying to get it all out the beater.
all right, you can scrape that down there. We are going to ice it and roll it up. Then we're going to eat it. I'm excited.
I love this plan already. There you go, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Okay.
I'm gonna go back to eating some icing if you don't
Okay.
mind.
I'll take care of this.
Okay, all right. I'm just gonna. It's just like an ice cream cone. I'm just
It's
gonna sit
just
here
like
and
a
enjoy it.
lollipop. And there's no eggs in there, so, you know, you can eat it to your heart's content.
That's very true. Because unlike that's my biggest issue with cookie dough.
Yeah.
Is that constant fear of E. coli? You know.
Yeah, the fear doesn't stop me. Okay, so we're just
Oh,
gonna
I didn't say it stopped me. I just said it was there.
It was concerning.
I gotcha.
All right, so we're just gonna spread this out, and you see how it's like, it looks a little cracked in here.
Right.
That's fine, that's normal because we did roll it.
I was gonna say the icing's also gonna fill that all in.
Exactly, and sometimes when you will roll it up, it will crack, but you know what? It doesn't matter, you're gonna slice it up, and it's delicious. I guarantee you no one's gonna be looking at it long enough for them to even worry about what's going on.
I'm not even waiting long enough to just eat icing, so
Right.
that's good.
So you notice I'm doing this not quite all the way to the edges because we are gonna roll it up and it's gonna,
Right, and if you were to
sort
do
of
it to
come
the
out.
edges, then you're gonna start getting it out the sides.
yeah, so,
All right, I think I'm done eating icing.
okay. All right. So now I'm going to roll this up.
Any special technique, or is it just we're just treating it like a sleeping bag?
Exactly.
I love it. Awesome.
Okay. And I'm gonna put it here on this plate with the seam down. Now, what we do when we make our 50
your
is
way.
we actually put it in freezer paper, and you can freeze it for up to a year and it will stay. So we have
What?
this ready to
No.
go. That's true. I'm not lying
I'm
about
learning
this.
all sorts of great things today about what you can do. Apparently, you can make 50 pumpkin rolls in one day.
Yes.
And,
I wouldn't suggest it, but
you
you
wouldn't
can.
suggest it, and
No.
you can also flash freeze a pumpkin roll and keep it for up to a year.
Yes.
I will
So-
be making 50 pumpkin rolls. The only difference between your pumpkin rolls and mine is they'll all be going in my freezer for me to enjoy throughout
There
the
you
year.
go.
That's the plan.
Yeah. So then after we have that, we just sort of dusted it with our
I think you did a little more than
powdered
dusting.
sugar, a little bit. So now we
But
are
I think
going
sugar's
to
like sugar's like chocolate though. It's
exactly. You can
the
never
more
have
the
too
merrier,
much.
you know?
Yeah. So you can actually see, could have brought that down to the
Okay,
bottom a little bit
yeah.
more, but that's all right because it's going to be delicious. So I'm just going to sort of cut into the middle.
Okay.
One half for me, one half for you, I figured. So
Yes. That sounds awesome.
just to sort of show you. Now you can serve it right away or you can freeze it. And
That looks
is
fantastic.
just delicious. So
Yeah,
it's
here,
going to
I'll
be,
show it over there.
yes.
I mean,
it's
that-
going to be fabulous.
And that's fantastic. And that
Yes.
literally took us. I mean, I know a lot of our residents are watching at home right now. This took us no more than an hour.
No.
So I mean, this is a simple recipe that
Yeah.
we can do. And I mean, the presentation on this is fantastic. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's really nice to see this and see just how easy it was, but at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, if I brought this out at Thanksgiving, my mom would ask where I bought it because she wouldn't trust that I had actually made it. So now the one last thing I did want to touch on real quick, our cookies all done, but we're still waiting for them to cool just a little
Yes.
bit. but I wanted to show the folks at home. Unfortunately, I don't know if we're going to get to try these today. They haven't quite cooled yet.
We're going to try.
We're going to try? Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Kelly says yes. You want to try them now?
Doesn't matter that they're not cool.
All right, that's fine by me.
We will just...
Oh, actually, they're pretty, I mean, they're softer. I like softer cookies.
They are like a soft and yet a crunchy at the same time. And as you can see, they did kind of go together. But I think you still did a wonderful job on them.
I may have made them a little bigger than I anticipated.
You can see, too, you can see the flecks of the sugar that's on top of them.
Oh, that looks fantastic.
These are, everybody raves about these cookies.
Right.
So
it's one of those ones where you're kind of like chili powder. What?
Yeah, but they're really good.
Well, then I'm going to say to you, bon appetit.
Bon appetit. That's a good cookie.
That is a very good cookie. I'm not supposed to talk with my mouth full, but I think we'll let it slide today.
Yeah.
Now, just a reminder again, folks, both of these recipes, I'm sorry, that's a good cookie. Folks, both of these recipes are available in the TV studio located in Community Building 2. So if you do want to come down and get one of our recipes, please don't hesitate to stop down and see us. These both fantastic. Trust me, from somebody who is not at all a cooking wizard, this was really easy to make, short of getting shells out of the mixture. But other than that,
you did a good job.
they're really easy to make and they're really good too. Some great fall treats for you as we start to make our way into November.
Yes.
Kelly, we appreciate so much that you came on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
Two fantastic recipes. One last time, if you are interested in these, they're down in the TV studio right now. Not the food itself, trust me. This is going to be gone in about 5 minutes. I don't know if it's going to make it back to the studio. But other than that, the recipes are available. We want to thank you so much for tuning in today. We hope you have a happy Halloween. And if you'd like to catch a rebroadcast of this show, remember, you can tune back in at 2, 7, 9, as well as midnight. For Good Morning Crest, I'm Chris Taydus. This is Kelly Goles. Have a great day, folks.